Hi everyone. So today we're going to work on geometric sequences. And we just finished arithmetic. So remember we talked about a common difference and we had a formula for that where it was like a sub 1 equals a sub n, or a sub n equals a sub 1 times n minus 1 times d. Well, we're going to have something similar here for geometric, except we're going to talk about a common ratio instead of a common difference. So our definition is a geometric sequence in the sequence in which the ratio of any term after the first term is to its preceding term is a constant called the common ratio. So if we list a sequence, it would look like this. A, which is your first term, A times R, A times R squared, and A times R cubed, dot, dot. Okay, so it goes on and on and on. So the formula that we're going to be using is a sub n equals our first term times ar to the n minus 1. Because if you look, r squared is in the third position, which means that it would be 1 lower than the position. 3 is 1 lower than 4. So that's where the n minus 1 comes from. Okay, so that's what we're going to use. So in each of these, let's find the common ratio and see if we can create that implicit formula. So the way we're going to find our common ratio is we're going to take the second guy divided by the first guy, and then the third divided by the second, the fourth divided by the third, so on. So it's second divided by first. So we're going to do 6 divided by 3. And we want to know, is that the same as 12 divided by 6? And is that the same as divided by 12, and 48 divided by 24? They should always all reduce to the same number. Well, 6 divided by 3 is 2. 12 divided by 6 is 2. 2. 24 divided by 12 is 2. And 48 divided by 24 is 2. So that's going to tell us our R value is 2. Okay, so we want to develop our equation now. A sub n is equal to the first term times 2 to the R minus 1. And that's our equation. Let's try the next one. Let's try 3. Again, we're going to divide. So 5 divided by 1 has to equal 9 divided by 5, which has to equal 13 divided by 9, which has to equal 17 divided by 13. I don't think they're all the same. So this is telling us this is not a geometric sequence. All right, why don't you pause the video and try problems 2 and 4 on your own. All right, let's see what you came up with. I came up with that the number 2 is not geometric. They don't reduce to the same fraction or the same number. But in 4, it does. They all reduce to 2. So our equation would be a sub n equals 2 times 2 to the n minus 1. Could we write this as just 2 to the n? And the answer is yes. Okay, all right, so we can use this same idea to figure out the term. Okay, so I want to find the 10th term. Remember, that's the position of the number, that's not the number itself. So we still need a sub n equals a times r to the n minus 1. So we have our first term, which is 2. That's a sub 1. We have n, which is our 10th term. So we got to figure out r, so that we can use it to find our value. Well, let's do negative 6 divided by 2 and see if that's the same as 18 divided by negative 6. And is that the same as negative 54 divided by 18? Well, it's negative 3, and negative 3. All right, so looks like r is negative 3. So let's put this in. So 2 times negative 3 to the 10 minus 1. Right, so 2 to the negative 3 to the 9th. Again, I don't know what that is. Oops, sorry, I thought I had my calculator up and ready to go. Okay, so parentheses around that because we want to make sure it takes the negative with it. And then we're going to times that by 2. Okay, so we get negative 39,366, and that is our 10th term. All right, why don't you pause the video and try to find number 2, which is the 7th term. Okay, that's what I got. I got r to equal negative 3. Put it in. So our first term is 1, negative 3 to the 7th minus 1, or negative 3 to the 6th. So I have 729 as our 7th term. All right, let's use this to find missing terms in our sequence. So we want to find the second and third terms of our geometric sequence. So keep in mind, here's our formula. A sub n equals a sub 1, r to the n minus 1. Well, 2 is a sub 1, and 54 would be 1, 2, 3, the 4th term. So we have our 4th term. We know what n is. We know what a sub 1 is. We just have to figure out what r is. Okay, so 54, negative 54, is equal to 2 times r to the 4 minus 1. Okay, so negative 54 equals 2 times r cubed. Let's divide both sides by 2. Get negative 27 equals r cubed. The cube root of negative 27, I believe, is negative 3, is equal to r. All right, so we're going to have to do a little recursive, which means we're going to multiply the previous term to get to the next term. So 2 times negative 3 is going to give us negative 6. And negative 3 times 6 is 18. And 18 times negative 3 does give us negative 54. All right, again, try the next one on your own and see how you do. All right. So this one I got 6. We were only finding just the term in between. All right, so just like when we talked about arithmetic sequence where we have an average will help us find the term exactly in between two numbers, we have something similar called the geometric mean. And then remember, in arithmetic, we added the 2 and divided by 2. In a geometric mean, we're going to multiply the 2, but we're not going to divide by 2. We're going to take the square root. So the average of two numbers, the geometric mean, we're just going to call them x and y, is the square root of those two multiplied together. Now let's see if that worked in our previous problem. If we take 3 times 12 and square root that. So the square root of 36 is 6. And that seems to work. So if you're only missing one number or a number in between the two, use the geometric mean. So let's try this one. The square root of 48 times 3. Okay, again, I don't know what that is off the top of my head. Okay, so 144, that I do know. The square root of 144, we get 12. So the 12 is going to be our missing piece. And if I had to figure out what r was, it looks like 48 divided by 12, that's 4. And 12 divided by 3 is 4, so that seems to work. All right, why don't you pause and try the next one. I got 60. Okay. All right, so that's it for this video. Hope you had any questions. Please let me know. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day.